Hey guys, today we're going to be learning how to solve multi-step equations. So go ahead and label your notes, solving multi-step equations. And basically here we're going to be combining all the skills we've been learning about combining like terms and distributive property and simplifying expressions and solving 1 and 2 step equations to put it all together to solve multi-step equations. So step 1, when you see a multi-step equation, is going to be to distribute if there are parentheses. So I'll put in parentheses if needed. Okay. You typically will need to distribute to get rid of any parentheses. Step 2 will be to combine like terms. On each side of the equation. Okay, so we're not trying to move anything from one side of the equation to the other yet. We're just looking on each side of the equation. Are there any like terms that I can combine and doing that? Step 3 is going to be to move variables to one side. So if you have variables on each side of the equal sign, you're going to subtract or add 1 to both sides so that it cancels on one side and all the variables end up on the other side. Step 4 is going to be to move constants. Remember, constants are just numbers all by themselves to the other side. By other side, I mean away from the variable, because remember our goal is to get the variable on one side and a number on the other so we know what it equals. And then finally, step 5 is going to be to multiply or divide by the coefficient. Remember that coefficient is that number with the variable. Okay, so once you have these steps down, we're going to move on to our examples. So example 1, I've got 2 times parentheses x plus 2 equals 3x plus 15 minus 9. So I'm going to go through my steps. First one is distribute if needed. So I see that there are parentheses here. For step 1, I'm going to go ahead and distribute. Okay, and remember, just like with any other equation, I'm going to draw that divider around my equal sign so I'm very clear which side is which. So as I distribute, 2 times x is 2x. 2 times 2 is positive 4, so that would be 2x plus 4 equals. I'm going to bring this side down. Okay, that was step 1. Step 2, combine like terms on each side. So on each side of the equation, this side, are there any like terms? No. This side, are there any like terms? Yes, I've got these 2 constants. So I'm going to keep this side the same. Numbering this step 2, sorry. Equals 3x, and then I'm going to combine 15 minus 9 is positive 6, so that'll be plus 6. Okay, now it's time for step 3. Let's see what it says. Move variables to one side. So let's find our variables. I have a 2x and I have a 3x. I want to get my variables on one side. I'm going to pick the smaller variable and subtract it away. So I'm going to say minus 2x on this side and minus 2x on this side. Remember, I have to do the same thing to both sides to keep my equation balanced. So when I do that, 2x minus 2x cancels out. So that goes away, right? My 4 stays. 3x minus 2x is 1x, or just x, and I bring down my plus 6. Okay, now I'm ready for step 4. Move constants to the other side. So I want my variable to be by itself. I want to move this constant away. So I'm going to do the inverse operation on both sides. Remember, the net result is going to be that my x stays by itself over here, and these two cancel out. Okay, so x equals, and then 4 minus 6 is negative 2. So my final answer is x equals negative 2. Okay. Step 5 says to multiply or divide by the coefficient. Since my x only has a coefficient of 1, I don't need to do step 5. Okay, so step 5 is not needed here because my coefficient is 1. Okay, so let's try another one. We'll keep our rules handy. We're going to do example 2. I've got 3 times parentheses x minus 4 plus 6 equals 5 times parentheses x plus 3 plus 9. Okay, so first thing, let's put our divider around our equal sign so we're very clear about our sides of the equation. Remember, step 1 is to distribute. So I see 2 sets of parentheses here I'm going to distribute. Noticing that this is a negative 4, so I want to make sure I'm remembering that when I distribute. All those are positive. So step 1, let's distribute. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. I'm going to bring down the plus 6. It's not part of these parentheses, so it just stays. Okay, 5 times x is 5x. And 5 times 3 is positive 15, so I say plus 15. I bring down the plus 9. It's not inside the parentheses, so it's not involved in the distributive property. Okay, step 2, combine like terms on each side. So look on this side of the equation. For like terms, we've got a negative 12 and a positive 6. Look on this side of the equation. We've got our constants again, 15 plus 9. Okay, so I'm going to bring down my 3x. Negative 12 plus 6 is negative 6, so I just say minus 6 equals. I'm going to bring down my 5x. 15 plus 9 is 24, so plus 24. Okay. Step 3, let's check back on our notes. Move variables to one side. So let's find those variables. We've got a 3x and we've got a 5x. I'm going to pick the smaller one and take it away from both sides. That way I get a positive number next to my x. Just make life easier. Okay, so 3x minus 3x is 0. It goes away. I'm going to bring down my minus 6. Don't forget that negative sign that's in front of the 6. Equals 5x minus 3x is 2x. And bring down my plus 24. Okay, now I'm ready for step 4. Step 4 says move constants to the other side, so away from the variable. So here's my variable. I want to get this constant to the other side away from it. So I'm going to do the inverse. I'm going to subtract 24 from both sides. Okay, negative 6 minus 24 is negative 30 equals my 2x stays, and then 24 minus 24 is 0. That cancels. Okay, so now I'm going to get to use step 5 this time because I'm not done yet. Step 5 says multiply or divide by the coefficient. So find your x. It's being multiplied by 2, so I want to do the inverse and divide by 2 on both sides. So negative 30 divided by 2 is negative 15, and that's going to equal 2 divided by 2 is 1x, or just x. So x equals negative 15. All right, we're going to do one more example to make sure you've got it. So here's example 3. I've got 8 times parentheses x plus 1 plus 4 equals 3 times parentheses 2x minus 8 minus 16. So anytime I need to solve an equation, I'm going to draw those guidelines for myself around the equal sign so I'm very clear about the sides. I'm going to follow my steps. Step 1, distribute if needed. I have parentheses, so yes, I do need to distribute. I'm going to distribute the 8 there. I'm going to distribute the 3 there, noticing I have a negative sign, so I'm going to circle that so I don't forget. Okay, so let's distribute. 8 times x is 8x. 8 times 1 is positive 8. Bring down the plus 4. It's not involved in the parentheses. Equals. Distribute again. 3 times 2x is 6x. 3 times negative 8 is negative 24. And bring down my minus 16. Step 2. Combine like terms on each side. So look on each side. This side of the equation for like terms, I see an 8 and a 4. On this side of equations for like terms, I see negative 24 and negative 16. So the 8x comes down. 8 plus 4 is 12 equals 6x comes down. Negative 24 minus 16, remember that's negative 24 plus a negative 16, that's negative 40. Okay, step 3 says move variables to one side. So find your variables. There's an 8x and there's a 6x. Find the smaller one and take it away. So we're subtracting 6x from both sides. Okay, 8x minus 6x is 2x plus 12 equals 6 minus 6 is 0, that cancels, minus 40. Okay, being careful to bring down those signs every time we move anything down. Okay, step 4, move constants to the other side. So remember, we're trying to get this variable by itself. We want this constant to go away to the other side. So we're going to do the inverse and subtract 12 from both sides. That leaves us 2x on this side because 12 minus 12 is 0 equals, and then negative 40 minus 12 is going to be negative 52. Okay, step 5 is to multiply or divide by the coefficient. Remember, we're trying to get x by itself. It's being multiplied by 2, so we want to do the opposite and divide by 2 on both sides. 2 divided by 2 is 1x, or just x. And then negative 52 divided by 2 is negative 26. Okay, so as you're doing your practice today, make sure that you keep your steps handy and just go step by step. That will help you keep from getting confused. All right, I'll see you soon.